Hey guys, it's Frank here with another best of 3 in the TavernsMug group stage. And we've got Norbashbash, our blue Infernal, versus Senegalo, our red Infernal. And they're doing pretty much mirrored builds. Actually, there's no pretty much about it. They are doing literally mirrored builds. And because they're doing mirrored builds, we can do one of these. How neat is that? I think it's pretty neat. Alright, Empathy coming on over to build a third. There we go. Now things are starting to change up a little bit. So Senegal going for third. Whoa! And Norbash going for the spicy third. Kind of closer, a little bit closer to the Therium anyway. I wonder if, so I know it's going to be a lot more vulnerable, and Infernals really need to get up to tier 2 before they can start being kind of, I don't think I've noticed that animation before where like the fingers on the Iron Vault will like scrape along the top. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, yeah, I don't know if this is, I don't know if the risk is worth the reward for this base. It feels like it's going to be very exposed when tier 2's out. But I guess that all hinges on whether or not it's going to get scouted. I think they both kind of expect, like, yeah, they almost got the health camp at the exact same time as well. So they know that their resource expenditure, or they can guess that the resource expenditure is basically similar in that, you know, they spent the same amount of resources to get the same amount of, uh-oh, he's going to see it, isn't he? He's going to come around and scout. Yep, this trailer park girl that went around the outside is going to come along and... maybe he won't. No way! Senegalo, did you see the, he doesn't see... There you go. Okay, now he sees the shroud. He knows there's a shrine there. Ay. Okay, so the secret's out. I love seeing these little shroud highways, by the way. But it's really only useful if you've got... I've noticed that it's only really useful if you've got the Weavers. Anyway, no Weavers out just yet, but that Fiend, man, that hero Fiend with the beautiful scout. And it seems like Norbash has kind of fallen behind on the creeping side of things, but oh, and here's Senegalo with his fourth. Yeah. Okay. So I don't see any tech structures yet out of Senegalo. Do we see them out of Norbash? No. But we see, okay, he's got tier 2 on the way. No tier 2, no tier 2, no tier 2. So it looks like Norbash is going to get to tier 2 first, which will be nice. But I think he still has to defend. Yeah, there's nothing here that can defend. There's like a Felhogs, and as mighty as the noble Felhog really is, and as proficient as it is at killing intruders, I'm worried that it won't be able to put up, you know, to the eye-watering, decimatingly powerful firepower that is 4 Fiends. But what's the composition look like? It looks like a lot more Gaunts and a couple, like, what, 3 Brutes right here. Yeah, 2 Brutes, 2 Gaunts, 2 Fiends. Alright, so they're both kind of happy to just sit back and kind of engage each other in the onesie-twosies. Little, I wouldn't even call these skirmishes. They're just little hellos. They're just waving at each other with Fiends that are chomping each other to death. That's how Infernals say hi. It's like... it's like when... I remember being a kid, and when dogs would play, that would really freak me out. Like, especially if the dogs would, like, play rough. Uh-oh. Yeah, here comes the Magmadon that's gonna trample down all these trees. No, you need to make a wider aperture. There we go. There we go. Now the Fiends are gonna come forward. Now the Gaunts are gonna come forward. Oh, a lot. That was a nice connection, actually, with the Nightfall Infestation, but two Magmadons don't give a gosh. Ooh, and that's a nice Nightfall Infestation for Senegalo as well. Stomps on stomps, but 3 Magmadons better than 2 Magmadons. According to math, I say in quotes. Superstone coming down and just obliterating all the lightly armored units that were there. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, no. I remember when I was a kid and there were some dogs that would like play rough. And you know, you kind of see their teeth come out and they'll growl a bunch. They're still having a good time, but for a kid, it kind of freaks you out that you're like, man, why are they fighting? And then an adult has to come along and say, no, they're just playing, they're just playing. That's kind of what, like, fiends killing each other in an IvI is like. It's like, okay, yeah, they're not actually fighting, they're just saying hello. But it looks pretty violent, and there is, like, a little blood splatter on the ground. But they're just saying hi, it's fine, it's fine. Alright, Norbash's army is basically 4 Magmadons. We need more. Not more Magmadons, Norbash. I meant more variety. You need more than just Magmadons and Gaunts. My guy. But it looks like that's mostly what he's got. I don't know what other units he's got here. A couple of empathies coming along to start mining this Therium, the enriched Therium. And it's very nice. Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be... Is this basically a mirror build? Why is no one making Hellborn? It seems like Hellborn... There we go. We see a Hellborn. But I'm surprised we're not seeing more just because they're such great anti-tank... or rather, anti-heavy armor units. I imagine you would want them... if you know your opponent's got Hellborn. And then both builds can shift from making Hellborn... Or from making... Magmadons into making Weavers. Yep, there's another conga line of Magmadons just doing their... Man, I really... The more I say the word conga line, the more I regret saying it. It just makes me think of like retirees on a cruise ship that are like, oh, hey, it's a conga line, this is fun. But, I mean, that is kind of what happens. Like, the StarCraft 2 units had the same problem where, like, eventually, if they turn enough corners, they just, like, get into single file. Oh, no, but this radioactive blood debuff is going to be huge! Yeah, and it's not going away for a couple more seconds. Being able to capitalize on the radioactive blood debuff would be massive, though, and I'm surprised the effigy hasn't gone down yet. There we go. Throwing down an effigy and then doing some stomps of your own is really good. But microing, man, the importance of microing your stomps can't be overstated. Like, why was this Magmadon fighting another Magmadon? He should have been in the back line doing massive damage to all the Gaunts. Gaunts, like, individually don't do all that much damage, but if you can damage a whole bunch of them, that's a lot of DPS that drops off your opponent's army. Instantly nukes the effigy. Is like, nope, you're not allowed to have white health regen. I don't know what advantage are you getting by taking this energy regen camp. Is it just for the resources? I guess it must be. But it actually looks like, yeah, Senegalo's got his, he's got, what is this, a 5th, a 6th? I don't know. He's got this corner base up. Yeah, and Senegalo's slowly pushing in here. Where's Norbash's army? Did they go down, did they just leave to take the vision camp? They did. And then they didn't take the vision camp. And now, okay, throws down a Superstone, which I like. And it's going to get good damage while everything else is waiting. And Nightfall Infestation gets a couple Gaunts. Nothing too crazy. Nothing to write home about. I don't know who actually still writes anything home. It's not like, you know, the post office has largely become obsolete since the invention of email. Or I should say that email has largely obsoleted the post office, but there you go. Yeah, and there's not nearly enough firepower here from Norbash. He's down by 100 supply, more. And, yeah, I think eventually that's just going to be it. We're seeing the beginning of the end here for Norbash. Senegalo's just got to get in a good position. Here's the dragon to make sure that absolutely everything pops. 2 fiends as it dies, and there's the GG well played. Senegalo's going to go up 1-0 in this best of 3. Hey guys, it's Frank here with game number 2 between Norbash and Senegalo. And already we're going to see Senegalo taking that health cabbage that splatters with blood. Just to make sure that there's no healing that's going to get done. Actually, I don't think he took the health cabbage. But yeah, they're going to scout each other out here. Norbash going for the expansion a little bit quicker, whereas Senegalo is going for Shrine Vault Opener. Nope. Yep, sees the teleporting dude. And yeah, now these Hexen are gonna kind of waddle along and chase each other with the green water balloons. A couple of gaunts already popped out. It's all good. No worries. Are we gonna see a Fellhog pop out? That was the next question. Fellhogs are really good at being like damage sponges. There we go. Throws down an FG. Alright. No, not the Fellhog. He actually did a really good job of making sure that the telegraphed attacks went to the, I mean, the free unit. Let's call it what it is. And Norbash getting a couple hits over there on the imp. Taking a lot of damage on the way out as well. But it's fine. The first conclave is gonna finish up, and he can. Oh no! No, he clicked on the mini map. Now his Hexen stuck. Ay, ay, ay. No. And it's got full energy. Ay, ay, ay. He's got to. All he has to do is wait for his the cooldown on his teleport to happen. But that's still super annoying. Alright, Norbash throwing down another effigy here, but Senegalo doesn't want to kill off that effigy. He's like, you know what? Thanks for the Shroud top-up. I'm going to come along and take this health camp, because you're basically contained right now. There we go. Oh no. 2 fiends sacrificed almost at the beginning. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Alright, now we see the Ritual Chamber finish up here for Norbash. And is he going to start Plague Axes right away? He doesn't, but I think that's a symptom of not being active on the map and not creeping around. I think the extra resources you get, especially in the early game, are so critical, especially for an Infernal player. Like, the Infernal player that gets their upgrades going first have quite a bit of an advantage, because you know in an IvI it's going to be like a very high casualty. You'll have a lot of casualties, just because they're kind of meant to be the swarmy race, and yeah, you know, they're Infernals. Do the demons really care if they lose like swarms and swarms of units? Thematically, no. But yeah, being able to generate fiends with Plague Axes. Now that Frank is getting to the point. Oh no! Another fiend! Empathy, no! Charmander. No, and does he live? He does live with 1 health. Lucky dog. Permanent FG goes down. Alright, and it looks like Senegalo is going to be continuing to creep around the map. I think that's really been his biggest strength so far in this game, is that he's willing to stay active, even though he's not poking around and doing damage to Norbash. He's still out on the map, getting resources, getting vision. Honestly, is another huge one, because once he gets vision, he can, you know, he'll know it's like, okay, time to back up. He's also had his 3rd up for a while, but it hasn't. Or it feels like it's been a while anyway. But it feels like it's not saturated enough for it to be that much of an advantage yet. Magmadon activates Stomp to kill a single fiend. Worth, as the kids say. And Plague Axes are done. I think they're done for both players now. Yeah, they are done. So we're not going to see much of a timing attack making that big of an impact here for either player when it comes to the gods anyway. But we do finally see tier 2 units coming out of Senegalo. What will that mean? Is Norbash up to tier 2? Okay, he is up to tier 2. 2 conclaves, though, is pretty interesting. Actually, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. You want at least 1 more conclave so you can start lashing the Magmadons of your opponent. And this shrine is just about done. 4th for Norbash. And the fourth for Senegalo is well on the way. Shoo! I keep forgetting that there's like this like dent right here that's almost like a you know, it'll be easier to show you guys on the other side of the map. And also because we need to watch these fiends get wiped out. But where is it? So it was right there. Oh no, but we're missing the bigger fight. Huge! Oh man, that was a beautiful Nightfall infestation. This Senegalo's Magmadon got a great connection against all those gaunts, and all those gaunts are going to turn into fiends. All the fiends are going to chase down the last couple of gaunts. There's the GG, well played from Norbash. That's just the end of the game. No, what I was going to talk about earlier is right here. It kind of blends in just because of the way the colors work, but there's like it feels like it's a double ramp. Okay, so there's the low ground, the ramp goes up to this ground, and then this is still kind of like relatively low. I don't know if it's if this is a full level higher than this, but you can see that there's another ramp that kind of like squiggles around right here. And I think that once you're up here, you have vision in either direction, so it's not like a full ramp up, but it still feels a little bit odd that I can like see the elevation difference, but it doesn't actually count as one full step, quote unquote. Anyway, yeah, Senegalo takes the series 2-0. GG's, guys.